Right, so you see that these gate posts here, they're coming along. This one here is almost ready to start receiving pigment on the outside. We'll end up giving it some colour into the cracks and colour in a few more places. We'll show you how to do that. But it's it's looking very nice. As you can see, it looks just like stone, and it feels like stone. It still needs to dry out a bit more, but it does actually, it does actually feel like stone as well. As soon as that's completely dried out, and it's got the colour on it. It would take somebody actually examining it very close to see if it's stone or not, to actually tell. That's what it will look like at the end. So you can see what's achievable. And although this could have been applied by hand. This could have been applied by hand if I wanted to, although I did use a mortar sprayer, just because it's easier to apply. But it could have been done by hand. But as for like materials of the crushed stone and the lime to make this, it probably cost about $6 to actually do this work here, with the little bit of colour that will be applied to it. Probably about the total for one gate post would probably be about, I don't know, $6, 15 cents, something like that, to actually make a post like this, a gate post like this, look like stone. So it's really a cents on the dollar for the effect that you get. So I hope you guys will try this out, try doing this system. It's really worthwhile doing. It really is. If you want to make your house into a castle, this is the way to do it, folks. This is the way. So keep watching. Right, so this gate post here is ready to start receiving some pigment. You can tell it's well cured. It still needs another 28 days to fully cure, but because it rings like that, you can hear it ring. That's when you know it's getting a good cure on it. Okay, so what we do is we get some ferrous oxide first, and this is just for the cracks. So we'll start with that. Some little brushes of different sizes. I'll show you what you need to do. So take your little brush with some ferrous oxide and start getting into some of these. Start getting into some of the cracks. Okay, so start getting into some of the cracks, and if you keep doing that, these will actually be a lot lighter, these cracks, once they've dried. But it's not going to be as dark as this. But what it is going to do is it's going to add some natural patina into this area where the cracks are. I'll film this tomorrow and you'll be able to see that it's a lot lighter. Okay, but basically you do this to get some natural colour into the cracks, and you won't see the full result of that until it dries, and it doesn't take that many hours to dry. Okay, but that's what you need to do. So basically what I'll do is I'll start hitting all of these cracks, and then I will start, once I've finished those cracks, I will start to add colour by using a spray bottle, the kind that you use in your garden for spraying plants and things like that. We'll get some ferrous oxide of the same colour as this, maybe a tad darker, and we'll also get some yellow as well, some yellow pigment, and we'll start to spray strategically onto here to give it some nice variation of colour into the stone to make it a lot more natural looking. Okay, so I'll show you that next. Okay everybody, as you can see, the pigment that I applied here has now dried. Okay, it's very, very subtle, and that's the way you want to do it. You always want to do your pigments initially subtle and soft, and then you can always apply more pigment if you feel like it. Okay, it's always best to do it twice rather than do it once and have too much and then have to take some away with a wire brush. Okay, so as you can see, very, very subtle. So what we'll do next is we'll start using the spray bottles. Okay, we'll start using these, and we'll be applying colour with these. Okay, right, so we've got yellow pigment and we've got a red. Okay, so they're the two that we'll be using, and let's apply it. Right, so let's add a bit of red first. Very, very subtle. I don't know how well you can see this being applied here. Basically spots of colour, different places. It's all about subtle colour. Okay, all about subtle. What we'll do with the yellow is we'll be applying the yellow more in a wider spray. Basically, this red, we're just getting a bit of red into this. It will give it a nice colour. Okay, now let's do the yellow. Okay, the yellow we've got on the jet set on a wider fan, and just literally just hitting very, 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 very subtle, hitting parts of this here. Okay, and that, when that dries, that will look a lot better, and we'll probably apply some more once it's dried, but this is about just trying to get some natural shading, into the stone. Okay, that's what it's all about. You know, some parts I want to apply a bit more, for the effect. Other parts, leave, don't put so much on, you know, and that's the way we start applying the colour. And it does create a natural look, which you'll see as this takes shape here. We've really got to let it dry before we truly see the effect, but we'll be applying more red as well. But this is all about getting some initial colour on there. And we'll also be using another trick which I'll show you. Okay, let's do the next stage. So back to the red, and the trick is hitting it from a distance with the nozzle with a very kind of strong jet, and kind of tag it from a distance. I don't know how well that you can really see this, but you know, it basically we're just trying to kind of like speckle it, create speckles. I did a bit too much there, but it's about trying to speckle. Difficult to explain, but yeah, kind of we're trying to create speckles of colour. What we're trying to recreate is, of course, the natural colour of stone, but also the patina that happens naturally over time with natural stone. It will kind of have speckles in it, you know. So just not hitting the jet too much, just trying to get those speckles. It's I'm probably gonna need a better jet than this, but it's not a very good one. It was only a cheap one, but just like that, speckle, and that will give you that natural, when that's just dry, give you that natural weathered look, natural oxidization look that we're trying to copy from nature. Okay, so that's what you need to do. So I'll show you this when it's dry. Right, so the colour in that there, I think, is quite nice. It's certainly the way I like to do it. You see parts, certain parts where there's like a faux crack, I might make that into a different kind of stone, or not different kind of stone, but a different colour to kind of create the illusion that this crack happened because the stone was a slightly different constituency, a slightly different consistency than the stone here, so it creates that illusion. I'm quite happy with the way that is. Now some people will darken here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, but they'll use a pigment and just paint it by hand. They'll darken in here. Some people put green into there to give it an older look. Some people even make a white mortar, lime mortar, and they inject it into here with a chef's icing bag. Yeah, seriously, they actually use a chef's icing bag and they pump the lime mortar into here, let it dry for a bit, and then they just smooth it out. Okay, and that creates the illusion of a mortar in between those blocks. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not really a huge fan of that system. Right, so there we are. Now, well, you can see the colour in this, guys, but you can see the difference between the shading here and there has been made different. Creates a nice effect. I'm not an artistic person and I learned it, so applying the colour is something very, very easy. And if you overdo the colour, you just hit it with a wire brush and you can reduce the colour that you overdid. So it's easy to do, guys, easy to do. So good luck on your projects, and please subscribe. Bye.